بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين صلى الله عليه وسلم. البرنامج المشترك كتاب ترافلر 1 مشرفة عبير الحميدي. درسنا اليوم راح يكون module 3D. Now the title of the module is called Natural Beauty. In the previous lesson we were supposed to write an email asking for information. Today we're going to discuss holiday destinations, their names, and we're going to read a passage about a description of a certain city. Now, natural beauty is our title. As you can see in the picture, you have a couple of pictures talking about geographical features, places that people you would love to visit because of those features. The first word here in the exercise, they ask you to look at the pictures and the words. Which of these types of geographical features are, they exist or they're near the area you live in. For example, if you live in Baha or Jof or Najran or in Al Qasim or in the north region, one of these places you may have, the similar ones. I'm going to try to give you examples as much as I can, but I don't have a lot of knowledge of this, but I'm going to try as much as I can. Now, the first word is called valley. In the picture, the first picture is called valley. Valley is usually a place, it's a low area of land sometimes it's between hills or mountains, and usually you have a river running between them. In Riyadh, for example, we have Al Hanifa Valley. In Najran, they have Najran Valley. So it's a place where you have river running between two hills. Now, picture number 2, volcano. Volcano is a dangerous place to visit. I don't think most people don't visit that place, but it's one of the geographical features. Usually it's a mountain that has a circle, and usually it has like a circle hall. You have lava and hot rocks coming or dust coming out of it. It's very dangerous to be near that place. Cliff, third word, cliff. Usually cliff, as you can see, do you see the sea here? It's at the edge of a mountain, and it's very steep, very deep. If you stand there, God forbids, and you fall, it's very dangerous, but this is what we call cliff. It's the edge of a mountain, but usually it's near the sea. Waterfall. From the word water, fall. It's falling of water, but sometimes it's very high place. The water is falling into for example, a stream or a river. We have lots of examples, but I don't recall anyone here in Saudi Arabia. But if I say, for example, Niagara Falls, you will definitely know the meaning of waterfall. The coast. Here you have let's say here, the coast here. It's a city or the land next to the sea. You have the eastern province coast, you have Yumba, you have Al Jubail, you have Jeddah. Usually a land that is close to the sea is called a coast. Now jungle. Here, jungle, as you can see, it's a very large area of land full of trees and forests. Usually it's like a bush, but it's not just a small part of a forest. It's very dangerous to be in a jungle without any safety, like in the Amazon, for example, or in the eastern or the Far East jungles in, for example, Malaysia and so on. So this is a jungle. And the last word, mountain range. I was waiting for that word because we have a very famous mountain range, like Al-Hijaz mountain range, and we have Tuwaiq mountain range. It's not just one mountain, as you can see in the picture, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a series of mountains connected, and usually they are in higher ground. So if you have one of these geographical features near your town or city, you would visit them, but not now. Now we're not allowed to leave the house, but inshallah in the future you may be able to visit these places. Again, valley, volcano, cliff, waterfall, coast, and here you have jungle, and you have mountain range. Okay. Now this is a reading. We're going to read the passage silently, but before we read, I want you to look at the passage. It's called Come to Sichuan. It's a city from the name, of course, city in China. Before I play the recorder, because you're going to listen, I want you to pay attention to these words. First, we're going to look, if you have your book, if you have your book, you have pictures in the other side. We're going to go through them. But before you listen, I want you to look at these words. Like, if you come across these words, is the passage talking about hotels? Is the passage talking about nature? Is it talking about museums or animals, food? If it's talking about history or places of interest. As you listen and read silently, I want you to tick. Just make a sign that it's mentioned in the passage, okay? It's not going to take long, inshallah.
3D, natural beauty. 2, reading. Come to Sichuan. With its beautiful scenery, friendly people, and great food, Sichuan province in China is the ideal holiday destination. Sichuan is in southwest China, and it has many mountains, including the Himalayas to the west. The famous Yangtze River runs through China from west to east, crossing Sichuan. The Yangtze isn't as long as the Amazon or the Nile, but it's the longest river in Asia. There are lots of impressive sights in Sichuan. A very common form of Chinese art are the beautiful carved lion statues that visitors will see outside palaces and other important buildings. Don't miss Mount Ene. Here you can visit sites or just take photos of the many waterfalls. For one of the most beautiful sceneries in the country, visit Zhujiaigou Valley. Zhujiaigou Valley, in the north of Sichuan, is one of the most spectacular places in China, with snow-covered mountains, colorful lakes, and beautiful forests. Chengdu is the capital of Sichuan and is the cultural and industrial center of the region. Chengdu is also home to the Chengdu Giant Panda Research Base, one of the most important centers in the world for the protection of the giant panda. The research center has developed into China Panda City, with a museum and a zoo. After all that sightseeing, you must definitely have something to eat. The Sichuanese cook with a lot of chili peppers and garlic, and Sichuanese food is hotter and spicier than other types of Chinese cuisine, but it's delicious.
Now, this is the passage about Sichuan city. From the map, I want you to see the red spot. This is Sichuan. It's in the west, and it's in the southwest of China. And it has many beautiful buildings, and they have a lot of sculptures. Of course, these are the pictures in your book. You can look at them. It's more clear, I think, in your book. Now, as we said, when you scan very quickly the passage, you will go through most of the information that we have. For example, mountains, okay, river, and you have the Himalayas. You have Mount Emi. Now, these waterfalls, what are these? And also forests. These are names of nature, something that you see in nature. Okay, you have panda, and you have here a zoo. If you want to visit China, this Chinese city, Sichuan, you will find these, which means that you have to, you can see animals there. Okay, she says also the chili, peppers, and garlic. So what's mentioned in the passage? Also food. And the last mentioning, she said something about the sites in Sichuan, the places you want to visit. Sometimes you have sites that you can take photographs of, and here you have colorful, here, this one, the places of interest, something that you have colorful lakes, something that you would be interested to see. It's something strange or different. You've never seen other countries, so yes, you would be interested to go these places as a tourist and just take photographs, okay? Now, in the passage also you have 5 questions. From the passage you have question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to read them so we can answer them together. It's in that passage. If you want, of course, I'm enlarging the picture, but usually in your book you have the same questions in the other side, which is page 49, okay? Question number 1, what's the mountain range to the west of Sichuan called? It's a mountain range, so it's a group of mountains, not just one mountain. It's very famous, of course, in China, the Himalayas. Okay, even in Arabic it's the same, the Himalayas. Okay, Where can you see carved lions? A lion that's carved at the front of buildings. They're very large. Since we're not allowed to bring pictures because of the reserved rights, I couldn't bring a picture, but if you go online, you can find these pictures. Outside palaces and other important buildings. In buildings in China, you can see that. At the entrance of their buildings, they have different animals. Sometimes it's a dragon, sometimes it's a lion, but they have these customs in their country. Now, where can you see beautiful scenery and lakes? I tried to, read that word. It's jaw or go. It's jaw. She said, I'm not familiar with Chinese, but I think she said something like go, I think. Okay, what's the capital of the province? This one is Chengdu. I'm trying to pronounce it as much as I can. What do the Sichuanese use in their cookings? People in Sichuan, the Sichuanese, what do they use in their cooking? Of course, this is very easy. They use a lot of chili peppers and garlic. These are the answers. If you want to just, underline them. Okay. Now, this is the most important part in reading. Now, the questions also are important, but all you have to do is go in the line and you find the answers. But when it comes to words, you have highlighted words. Sometimes your test, require you to answer some words. So it's very important for you to choose the right word. When you have the word, it's easy to guess if you have a picture. Now, because we are higher grades, sometimes you don't have pictures. You have the line itself. And this is very important. You go to the line and you read the sentence, before and after the word. And these are the certain strategies that will help you guess the meaning. For example, spectacular. Now I'm going to read slowly. I have the clip here, the part from the book, but you can follow me from your books. She said, or the passage says here. She says here in the north of Sichuan is one of the most spectacular places in China with snow-covered mountains, colorful lakes, and beautiful forests. So she's describing, or that passage is describing that place as spectacular place. I want you to try to imagine, if I'm describing something with that word, it has covered snow, snow-covered mountains, and you have beautiful forests. It's very spectacular. Do you think I mean by that important or very impressive? Something that will impress you. You will look at that you will pause and you look at, this is so beautiful. This is something that you've never seen before. So what do you think? Of course, it's the first one, impressive. Now the second word, Chengdu is the capital of Sichuan and is the cultural or industrial center of the region. Now, I'm going to give you other examples, like here in the southern region, we have Al-Baha. In the northern region, we have Skaka. In the eastern region, we have Al-Jubel. And in the eastern region, we have Yumba. In the central region, we have Riyadh, and we have Al-Qasim, and we have... So what do you think I mean by region? Is it a mountain or an area? Talking about these places, of course, it's an area. Now, the third word, she said, or the passage says, the research center has developed, into China, Panda City with a museum and zoo. So the center or the research center developed, it changed. It became bigger, maybe? Children develop during earlier age faster than older, for example, or other, certain age. They develop. I develop my language. It becomes larger or more. I have more language. So it's growing. It's becoming bigger. Okay? Now, I like this one. After all that sightseeing, after you go through, these places, you must definitely have something to eat. So I'm not going to say that word because if I say it, you will know the answer. I'm definite, I know that if you walk around a lot, you will be hungry. I'm definite that I will find, for example, my book, or it's definitely on the table. When someone asks you, where is your, for example, key, and you know that it's in your, for example, bag, you say, I'm definite it's in my bag, or it's definitely, in the bag. So what do you think? It's fortunately or surely? You're sure. You're very sure that you will find it? Of course, surely. Now, this is these are one of the examples that you have. This is a skill that you should practice most of the time. When you have reading, you have the passage here, you have the questions, you can answer, and you can have these words. And that is the end of our lesson. I think here you have discussing, like E, would you like to visit Sichuan? Now, this is a question you're supposed to be with me now, so you would answer. If I ask you, after you have read that passage about that city, would you like to go and visit that Sichuan? It's a very tricky question because of the situation that we have now. Which places in Sichuan would you like to visit most and why? This is a great practice for you. Go back to the passage, read about that passage, and imagine that someone is going to invite you to see that place or to visit that city. Most of the sightseeing here, the places that's mentioned in the passage, maybe it will be more it's natural, beauty and all these sites. But if you're interested in that kind of activity, you can prepare something in your head. It's supposed to be a discussion, so I'm not supposed to give you that, but I'm going to go through it because it's in the book. If you like to visit Sichuan, which place would you like and why? For example, if you choose to go to see the river because you like, for example, nature, if you like to go to for example, the Chinese art and beautiful places, like you like architecture or you like buildings, maybe you want to take photographs, so it depends on your reason why would you choose that place and visit it. Okay? I think we're done. Thank you so much.